Namaste students. Today we are going to start with definite integrals. We have finished with indefinite integrals and you have done all the videos you have seen and you have done the exercise related questions and all that. Fine. The next topic is definite integration. When we started integration, I told you it has two parts. One would be indefinite integration, one is definite integration. Alright. So exactly we have to integrate. Now it is definite. I know from where to where I have to calculate integral. Alright. See now what is the definition? Just see to it. That fx is a continuous function defined on the closed interval AB. Alright. You have done continuity. You know when the function is continuous. This fx is a function which is continuous in the closed interval AB. And capital Fx, what does capital Fx define? It defines the integration. You remember when we started, if small fx is a function, capital Fx defines its integration. Is the indefinite integral of f of x. Is the indefinite. That means my function is f of x. When I integrate, I get capital F of x. Is it clear? My function is f of x. When I integrate, I get capital f of x. Capital F of x is the indefinite integration. Definitely integration plus c comes. Indefinite integration. Now, and x is equals to a and x is equals to b be two given values of x. और ये जो x है, the variable x, two values of this are given a and b. These are given a and b. Alright. Basically, I'll tell you. If I represent it on the geometrical presentation, if I see, if you remember, we did geometrical presentation of indefinite integration also. Alright, it represents the curves and all you did. Remember? Fine. Suppose right now, this f of x is represented by this curve. This is f of x. Alright, clear? Now if I integrate, I am getting f of x. Now what is x, a and b? A and b are some values. Suppose this is x is equals to a and this is x is equals to b. These are the two values of x given to us. Then, what is definite integration? Integration you got f of b minus f of a. F of b, that means integrate कर दिया. उसके बाद we have substituted x is equals to b minus we have substituted x is equals to a. This term f of b minus f of a is called definite integral. This is called definite integral. Is it clear? This is called definite integral. F of b minus f of a. That means where f of x between limits a and b. इसका मतलब look at this. F of x dx. Right now we did just differentiate integrate f of x and we are getting capital F of x. Now I have to integrate f of x but between a and b. The limits are given to me. That means I have to integrate this function but between, and what geometrically it presents that I'll tell you. Alright, I have to integrate but between a to b. It is denoted by a to b f of x dx, where a is called lower limit, b is called upper limit. That means अब क्या करना है हमें इंटीग्रेशन वैसे क्वेश्चन आएंगे. Is it clear? Few properties would be coming. That's a separate thing. Fine. But ultimately मुझे इंटीग्रेट करना है. हम अभी तक इंटीग्रेट कर रहे थे फंक्शन को, अभी भी इंटीग्रेट ही करना है. But now in integration में एक एडिशन हो गया because it is a definite integration. इसमें ये plus c will not come because plus c होता है indefinite. I have no idea what is the value of c. Now it is definite. Definite का मतलब क्या होता है? मुझे पता है exactly क्या आने वाला है. Is it clear? So I have to integrate f of x but between the limits a to b. तो क्या करेंगे? Simple integration. F of x की integration होगी capital F of x. We have written the limits like this. एक बार upper limit put करनी है फिर lower minus lower limit. Simple. What is the rule? Integrate fx. Integrate fx, then put upper limit minus lower limit. Minus lower limit. Simple f of x को हमने इंटीग्रेट करना है जैसे इंटीग्रेट करते आ रहे हैं. जैसे कि कुछ भी अप्लाई होगा, पूरी इंडेफिनिट इंटीग्रेशन अप्लाई होगी. अगर मुझे इंटीग्रेट करना है tan इनवर्स x को आई नो बाय पार्ट से इंटीग्रेट होगा. इज इट क्लियर? लिमिट सबसे लास्ट स्टेप है. जब फंक्शन इंटीग्रेट हो गया, देन यू हैव टू सब्स्टिट्यूट अपर लिमिट माइनस लोअर लिमिट, दैट्स इट. ऑलराइट. सेकंड, द c, द आर्बिट्ररी कांस्टेंट जो हम लोग लिखते हैं, आर्बिट्ररी कांस्टेंट will not come. The c which we write in indefinite integration में इसलिए लिखते हैं because मुझे c का वैल्यू नहीं मालूम. Alright, indefinite. I have no idea exactly what is the answer. So, but now this is definite integration, so this c will not come. Again, whatever the function is given to you, you have to integrate as usual you were integrating it earlier. Alright. आफ्टर इंटीग्रेटिंग, इंटीग्रेट करके आ गया एफ ऑफ एक्स. उसके बाद क्या करना है हम लोगों ने? वी विल राइट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इंटीग्रेशन के बाद ऐसे, देन एक बार अपर लिमिट पुट करेंगे एंड देन वी विल पुट लोअर लिमिट. अपर लिमिट माइनस लोअर लिमिट. इज इट क्लियर? ऑलराइट. नाउ दिस टॉपिक डेफिनेट इंटीग्रेशन इज गोइंग टू बी यूजफुल वेयर. Definitely one separate question would be coming of this topic in the exams, but where it is helpful. The next chapter we have application of integrals. We have application of integration. There we have to solve, we have to find out the area between the curves. I have to find out, this is the curve. I have to find the area between the curve f of x, x-axis, and the ordinates x is equals to a and x is equals to b. Is it clear? I have to find the area between this curve, x-axis, between x is equals to and x is equals to a and x is equals to b. This area is found by, because you have done area in your junior classes of triangle, circle, square, fine, parallelogram, you know the areas, but I don't know area of this shape. So when you have to find out the area of such kind of curves, then this definite integration comes into picture. Is it clear? So if I have to find the area of this curve bounded by x is equals to a, x is equals to b and x-axis, that will be integration of the curve which is bounding it. Is it clear? From where to where I have to find? From a to b. That is area of shaded region. Area of shaded region. Is it clear? So this is what we are going to do in the next chapter. Alright, so definite integration. Here we are going to do pure definite integration questions based on this. In next chapter, we are going to use indefinite integration to find out the area between the curves. Is it clear, girls? I hope it's clear by now to everyone. Simple integration. Upper limit minus lower limit. Alright, but one thing is clear, you will be able to do definite integration when you know indefinite integration well. See what we have done till now, there is a name to it, that is fundamental theorem of integral calculus. This is called fundamental theorem of integral calculus. F be a continuous function defined in the closed interval AB. Okay girls, very important, it has to be a continuous function. Alright, it should be defined in the interval, closed interval AB. You know that we have done this thing in continuity. Defined means कहीं पर भी पूरे इंटरवल A और B के बीच में ये फंक्शन अनडिफाइंड नहीं है, कहीं पर भी इनफाइनाइट नहीं बनता. Is it clear? Alright, so it is continuous function defined on the closed interval AB, and F, capital F, is called antiderivative. I have purposely wrote this word. Antiderivative means integral. Because integration and differentiation are anti, reverse of each other. This is indefinite integral of f. Then f of x from limit a to b dx is capital F of x, a to b, f of b minus f of a. Sorry. Is it clear? So simple. This is called fundamental theorem of integral calculus. So you have to integrate the given function. Alright. Put upper limit minus lower limit. That plus c will not come because we are dealing with definite integration. Now let's pick up some simple examples related to definite integration, that how to solve it. Look at the questions written on the board. The first is I have to integrate x square with respect to x from limit 2 to 3. X square with respect to x from limit 2 to 3. So I told you simple rule, whatever the function is given inside, if you can integrate directly, x square we can integrate, increase the power by 1 divided by increased power, plus c does not come because we are dealing with definite integration. Write the limit. Now 1 by 3 is a constant, I can take out. Upper limit minus lower limit. When you have integrated, once upper limit minus lower limit. That's it. Alright. So 19 by 3. Is it clear? Alright, so simply you just have to integrate and then put upper limit minus lower limit. That would be your answer. Coming to the next one. We know the integration of 3 raised to power x. What is the integration of 3 raised to power x? 3 raised to power x upon log a. Which form is it? Remember? A raised to power x. What is the integration? A raised to power x upon log a. Otherwise, in indefinite integration, plus c comes because we are dealing with definite integration. So, plus c will not be written. So, a raised to power x upon log a. 1 by log 3 is constant. I am going to take it out. Now, upper limit. Minus lower limit. Alright, clear? 27 minus 9. Fine. So just what you have to do, you just simply have to solve these questions. If you know the integration, directly solve it and then substitute the value. This is what you have to do. Clear, children? No confusion? That's it. Now coming to the next one. Which form is it? 1 upon 2x minus 3. 1 upon a linear. That means 1 upon ax plus b. What is the integration of 1 upon ax plus b? That is log of ax plus b divided by the coefficient of x. Is it clear? Plus c, because that is indefinite integration. Now if I integrate, I will get log of 2x minus 3 divided by the coefficient of x and then substitute the limit. Alright, clear? Now 1 by 2 we can take out. Zero to 1. Log of 2x minus 3 limit 0 to 1. What do we do now? What do? We substitute the upper limit minus lower limit. So it would be upper limit is 1. So 2 into 1, 2 minus 1 minus 3 log 1. Alright, here minus of log 2 into 0, 0 minus 3 modulus of 3. See, with the mod we know that log is not defined for the negative number. So that's why we always put a modulus. That if there is a negative number, it becomes positive. So it becomes log 1 minus log 3. What is the value of log 1? Yes, children. What is the value of log 1? Log 1 is 0. That's right. The value of log 1 is 0. So we are left with, clear to everyone? So we are left with minus 1 by 2 log 3. So simple rule, these are simple questions, though exams they won't be asking you these simple questions. So otherwise the rule is very clear. You integrate, integration you have done lots of questions by now. So you know how to integrate a function of various kinds. So you just have to integrate और इसने लिमिट्स में क्या करना है? जब इंटीग्रेशन खत्म हो गई, लास्ट में अपर लिमिट माइनस लोअर लिमिट, that is the rule. Is it clear? Let's pick a few more questions so that the things would be clear. Then after that we'll be starting with the next one. Let's see the next one. I have to integrate under the root 1 minus cos 2x from the limits 0 to pi by 2. So whenever trigonometry comes, you can't forget the formulas that I told you number of times. All questions related to trigonometry, so you will not be able to do without trigonometric formulas. So trigonometry is one thing which will never leave you. I speak this thing time and again. Alright, so under root 1 minus cos 2x, I don't know how to integrate it directly. So I have to apply some formula so that it can come into a proper form who I can integrate. So what is the formula of 1 minus cos 2x? That is 2 sine square x dx. Remember, under root 1 minus cos 2x is under the root 2 sine square x dx. Alright, so this under root 2 will come out of the integral because that's a constant. Now we know how to integrate sine x. What is the integration of sine x? Minus cos x, and we will substitute the limit. If you want to take this negative out, you can take that also out. Upper limit minus lower limit. What is the value of cos pi by 2? That is 0. What is cos 0? That is 1. So minus minus plus. So root 2 is the answer. Is it clear? So things will become easy when you know trigonometric formulas. Definite integration will become easy when you know indefinite integration, which we have already done. Is this clear? Now coming to the next one. Actually, these are same kind of questions. We did in, I think, inverse trigonometry, such kind of questions. Then we did differentiation, we did such kind of questions. Then we did in indefinite integration, we have done such kind of questions. So by now, it should be, imbibe in you. It should be in you कि अच्छा ऐसा है तो ऐसा करना. You don't have to think about it. Clear? So now we know that whenever I have 1 minus sine or 1 plus sine, in 1 minus cos, 1 plus cos, the formulas work. Whenever I have 1 minus sine or 1 plus sine, what do we do? Many of you remember, I know. What do we do? In place of sine, we apply doubles formula. And in place of 1, we apply the identity, that is cos square theta plus sine square theta is equals to 1. Alright, the angle, whatever the angle you have to take the angle in accordance to this. So the angle is x here, so I will take x only here. Cos square x plus sine square x. Clear? And when we do this step, we always get a whole square there. That is a whole square of cos x minus sine x whole square. Whole square and under root gone, so I am left with cos x minus sine x, and I know the integration of both the terms. What is the integration of cos x? That is sine x. What is the integration of sine x? That is minus cos x. That's it. Clear? Fine. Substitute. First of all, upper limit. Upper limit हो गया. Minus lower limit. Clear? Upper limit, lower limit. What is sine pi by 2? 1. Cos pi by 2, 0. Sine 0, 0. Cos 0, 1. So we have 1 minus 1. That's coming to be 0. Is it clear? So you have to be careful what is given to you. And see, we are finding area, so it becomes a little problem that it has become 0. Fine, because I told you definite integration defined area. And it has come 0. That means no area. So by mistake, I have taken a limit. It was pi by 4, pi by 4, pi by 4, pi by 4, pi by 4. So we need to be careful. Alright? Clear? Fine. So what is the value of sine pi by 4? That is 1 by root 2. That is 1 by root 2. See, I told you how did we come to know this is a wrong question. Because I told you definite integration we are going to use to find the area of the curves. It defines area of the curve. Is it clear? And that's 0. इसका मतलब कुछ area बन ही नहीं रहा वहाँ पर. Alright. So sine pi by 4. That is 1 by root 2. Sine 0 is 0. Cos 0 is 1. We can rationalize, so it will be root 2 minus 1. Is this clear? Alright. Now coming to the last one. I have integration of sine square x. I have to integrate sine square x. Fine. the integration of sine square x, I don't know the integration of sine square x. I know the integration of sine. So that means I have to remove the power. How to remove the power of sine square? Again, trigonometric formulas. Without that, it will become impossible. Sine square. Sine square we can write as, because my target is to remove the power, 1 minus, remember the same thing we have applied here. 1 minus cos 2x can be written as 2 sine square x. So sine square x can be written as 1 minus cos 2x by 2. So constant out. Now these are the terms whose integration we know. Integrate. X, integration of cos 2x would be sine 2x, and the coefficient of x will come in denominator. Upper limit 2x into sine pi by 2, sine pi, minus lower limit alright, pi by 2, sine pi is 0, 0, sine 0 is also 0, so I am left with pi by 4. It's clear to everyone? So what do you have to do in definite integration? You have to integrate the function using all the things what you have done in indefinite integration. Towards end you will just put upper limit minus lower limit. Is it clear? See, now these were simple questions which we could do directly. But you have done in the indefinite integration, you know that things are not possible directly every time. Is it clear? So, and the most important rule which who plays in indefinite integration? That is substitution method. So now we are going to do the questions regarding method of substitution. How to use that in definite integration? Using is same as we do in indefinite integration, but now we have limits, so little change would be there, just maybe a one step, nothing else, otherwise the question remains same.